Hello again, this is Graham with Military Model ASMR. I think this is the fourth episode, and we will conclude the assembly stage of the tank, the Sherman tank, 172 scale. I have modified it. Excuse me. I've modified the tank with a pilot, a hatch that can open. I have added track, which I believe it was common to add tank track to the hull to increase deflecting incoming shots and blows. And I've got a pilot that I've added, and I'm in the stages of modifying this gunman. And the British troops have been based. I've used 2 layers of cardboard this time because I find one cardboard layer is not quite sturdy enough for the sometimes for these troops. So that those are used with blue tack on the base, so you can work out your platoon or regiment layout there. And I'm quite pleased with those 2. Near complete. They just will be primed and painted and given bases with finishing details. And next I will show you the next addition to the forces I've got. And this is a 172 scale. It is a mid-1940s Russian tank. It is the famous T-55A, to those who know history and Battletop gaming, that this came into service in the 1940s and was sold around the world to countries in South America, the Arab countries, to Southeast Asia, and certain African states who contested territory and resources.
And they were to combat also what the Tiger tanks and Panzers and that?
Now this tank was an upgrade from the T-34. I believe it is lighter, faster, lower maintenance and servicing, and the Germans could not compete in terms of numbers. In terms of numeracy, the Russians were pumping out this tank. I will do this for a winter theme, campaign theme.
What's the American one? The Sherman tank, eh?
The main American tank to come into service in the early 40s was the Sherman tank, and I believe there's more than 5 versions of that tank that can be modified and was modified. And we'll just do a quick look at this tank. There is an improvement of the size of the width of the tank is wider, and the turret armament is also larger. I'm pleased that this will allow me to have a pilot of this tank. Dark green plastic moulding. I've bought 2 large tubes of araldite glue for doing the basing glue, sticking and adhesing. I'll give you a look at this sprue. Comes with decals, which is good, of the peak Soviet inspirational era. I don't know if you can see that flag, but I find that is of it's we're right into the prime stage of Stalin's armament of Russia. pushing back against the after Stalingrad was retaken. We have 2 stages of assembly. We have just give me a second. We have the main bottom part of the tank's hull. We have the turret, lower frame. We have the main side frame. So this is a it even has the engine detail, a large, I'd assume a V12 engine with the fuel tank, so it's quite detailed. And I'll just put that aside for a minute. And get yourself a good supply of cardboard if you are happy with using cardboard for your basing. And like I say, wood PVA glue is a good glue to use for your basing. It's stronger and it's more sturdy for your needs. So you can make your base, which I'll just trim now. And the tank, I will put the tank together in the next few days, and more or less in its complete phase. I'll add a pilot, and I also have sitting Russian troops that can sit on the tank. So when you're playing the rules in the game, you may surprise the soldiers on the tank and get to shoot first, get an advantage. Right, next I'll do this Gothic cavalry of hat. I'm going to try 2. This is just a test. I will be doing these later on in the year. I just want to see how well these. There are other brands that have cavalry, infantry, a king, chieftain, all in one pack with slingers and archers. But with the hat range, you'll have to buy each genre of military unit for these ancient warriors. I'll just trim it and get a rough idea of what it is I'll be painting at a later stage. As we improve our technical ability to record, we may pause and show stages of painting, because I could literally be here for 5 hours painting in between the paint drying. So prepare your saddle, because there is a sprue mould that has to be trimmed, and I think that the horses are quite well sculpted. Detail is excellent, and I'll just trim the saddle, and I'll say this is a good brand. For the ancient theme, I'm doing the late Roman Empire. You could experiment with these and use them in a late Neolithic age campaign. You could do as far back as Mycenaean, because there were Sarmatians that the Greeks had a period of wars with. And these are quite close moulds. Yeah, so take care not to damage your soldiers. The spears are separate. I see there's a whole mould in the right arm where the spear will go. So here we'll have he's a spearman, and so take care to prepare the spear, which is, so you'll need a sharp craft knife. You'll have to equip some tools. If you haven't already, you'll have to invest in at least cutting pliers and a knife to use on this unit, and that's not too bad. That actually came off the sprue quite well. I'll just finish the cut. It has a spare tip, and like I say, I'll be using the Aerodite glue to attach the spear. And so that is the end of this video.
So we're racking it up.
As I place the spearman on the steed, it's the first spearman, Gothic. You could use them as Germans, early Saxons, light cavalry, as these ones are in a cloak, a tunic, and a good broad shield, and a basic spear. And I hope you like this episode, as I have gone into two themes. I'm finishing up the World War II theme and preparing for a Christmas Yule Roman theme, barbarian invasion theme, with a large map I'm making, which I'll show in the next few episodes. A map, just cardboard paper. I sourced some online images of maps of Britannia, and I'll do the Britannia and coastline of what is modern day France. So there's the Frankish kingdoms in the late Roman 410 to 460 AD period I'm doing. So yeah, like and subscribe, and that's the end of that episode.
Okay,
Cheers.
over and out.
Yep.